states it in your word, Lord, and we ask that you be in control and in charge. We give you all the praise, all the glory, all the honors. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Lynn, do you care to do the pledge again, Lynn?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me? I'm trying to scream. I'm sorry. Next up is minutes. Board approval required, so I need a motion to approve the minutes. It's in your packet.
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Willie Sane and second by J.T. Hawkins. Ms. Ann?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Next up is the financials in your packet. I need a motion, board approval for that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnny Norris and second by Finlayson. Ms. Ann?
John Finlayson.
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sane.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay. Next up is our reports with our department heads. First up is Park and Rec.
I gave you my report. In the report, I'll just give you a little update on baseball and softball. We have over 300 kids playing this year between our Tiny Tots, our softball, and our baseball. That's a record number. Everything went real good last night. We're going to have a dedication on Saturday. I'd like for all of you to come out if you can. We're going to do at 12 o'clock. We'll do the dedication of the fields to Danny Roberts Jr. So that will be taking place Saturday at 12. We'll do the dedication, and then we'll do the introduction of the teams for the 2023 season. So we're trying to get everybody that can to come out, so we'll have a big crowd. If you have any questions or anything, I'll be glad to try and answer.
Questions?
On that grant you brought up yesterday, do we need to, do we have that on the agenda, or do you need approval to apply for it, or?
We probably need approval to apply for it. Well, I guess we need to know if it's going to be done in-house or if we're going to be doing it through Southwest.
Through Southwest, I met Melissa, and I did put you in the email so that you would know what was going on. So she's going to reach out.
What's the deadline on that?
She said March the 1st. We had to have the letter of
May
intent
1st.
in. May 1st, I'm sorry, May 1st. And then the other one was probably in August is what she's looking at, but she'll have
The Blue Cross
details.
Blue Shield grants are
Is
in
in
August.
So you're gonna take care of that, we get that intent in, so.
Absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
great.
So I'll
Okay.
get that in
So-
tomorrow with her.
I mean, just so that the board knows. Go ahead, JT.
Is there a premium for having Southwest administer it?
I mean, no, but I do think that they do a very good job of doing grants, and that's what
There is.
But it.
There's a percentage of the grant that goes to Southwest for administration.
But it helps us with our paperwork, and then we've had a lot of paperwork going on, just like with the North Park, that we've had Patriot Park, I'm sorry. So I've had a lot of paperwork that
But
me
that
and
was
Miss Ann has
done
going.
through Cook and Coggin.
I'm still
They are
gonna go
actually,
through Southwest.
they are administering the grant, just so you know that I'm not the one doing the paperwork on
Right.
Patriot Park.
Well, we do a lot.
That is being done through Southwest, through Cook and Coggin.
Thank
Okay. I guess that's the replacement grant. I do know that it has been signed and returned back to TDEC, and Miss Michaela said that she was going to try and hurry that up and get that back to us just as quick as she could so we could get started. I guess that's it.
Before we move on, do we need to make a motion to give
Make a
her
motion on the grant?
to approve?
Well, she's going to let Southwest do it, so.
Do the application? I mean, we need to make we need to vote to approve
Approve.
an application.
Apply for it,
Yeah.
Okay.
correct.
All right. Well, do I have a motion to apply for it? but I'm doing through Southwest.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion.
Okay, through Southwest. All right. Motion by J.T. Hawkins and second by Willie Sane. Ms. Ann?
John Phillips,
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins,
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sine.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Next up is the Police Department.
During the month of March, we had 335 calls for service, which ended up with 47 incident reports. We worked 14 crashes and wrote 85 citations. Be glad to try to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you. Next up is the Fire Department.
For the month of March, we responded to 65 medical calls. 21 of those was outside the city. We had 2 structure fires, 6 grass fires, and 1 automobile fire. We responded to 8 automobile accidents. We had 4 false calls, and we had 36 public assist, cut trees out of the road and people trapped in houses the night of the tornado. 1 service call for a total of 123 calls. We done 9 permits and inspections. We had 2 training meetings for a total of 60 hours. And our standby time at the station was 2,397 hours. Any questions on that?
What about the sirens? So we have all of those tornado sirens?
All the sirens are up and working except for the one on Bunt Street. It's intermediate. They are going to have to change the antenna system on it. We think that's a problem. And it's been on order for about a week now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It seems like when you run it longer, it will pick the signal up and go off. The one good thing about it, the one from Dowdy Road that lightning had hit the night of the storm, and the one over here on Falcon, it will send the sound over into Country Club, but just as soon as they can get it fixed, it'll be fixed.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up is the Utility Division.
For the month of March, we repaired 1 gas leak, 10 water leaks, made 1 gas tap, 6 water taps, pumped 71,235,000 gallons of water, and treated 18,600,000 gallons of wastewater. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Street and Sanitation.
For the month of March, we processed 159 work orders. We assisted with 8 after-hour dispatch calls. We hauled 136 tons of garbage, 1.5 tons of bulk, 4.26 tons of recycling. We put out approximately 4 tons of cold mix. We assisted in the culvert repair on Poplar Avenue, which is settling in and getting packed down. He wants to give it a couple of more weeks before it's paved, so we'll plan on that in another week or so. We dug several ditches. We continue to clean out culvert ends as they get stopped up, and we hauled off 17 loads of leaves. After the meeting last night, Mr. Huggins, yes, brought up that access road to the school parking lot. I did go out there this morning and saw that it was on our right of way. They are patched now. We also did a few more throughout the city, so that's taken care of.
Thank you.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
We don't have the building inspector here tonight, but we have his report. Next up is the city attorney.
Mayor and Board, the 2 matters that were of any significance were on my desk since the last meeting were the Patriot Park contract and the storm shelter agreement, and I put my thoughts to all of you about that in writing. Got any questions? I'll try to answer them. Other than that, it's pretty quiet. Thank you.
Okay, that's it on that. We'll go into, we do have old business, and I'll probably have to have Mr. Abernathy, city attorney, to answer some questions on this, and it's on the speed bump on Higginbottom Road. Can you come up and talk? You can come up and speak. So, Mr. Williams, do you want to come up for a few minutes? Speak about that. Sure.
Well, I went around the neighborhood and I have a list of 20 names. This is not 2 names per household. These are all households. 20 that says they want the speed bump gone. 3 people said they didn't care one way or the other, and 3 people said they wanted to keep it. One of those people said the reason he wanted to keep it was so when he turned his dog loose illegally, because it's supposed to be on a leash or in a pen, it might run down there in the road and the speed bump might keep his dog from getting run over. One person that said he didn't care one way or the other, I would have thought would have said, yes, let's keep it, because his wife had an accident there. But he said, I don't care one way or the other. It has been said that some 8-year-old kid got run over out there at that intersection. There is no information about that. Nobody in the area knows anything about it, so it didn't happen. It was just a rumor somebody started to create a reason to say, yes, it's okay. Next thing is, I'm going to read you what this came off the Tennessee website. Speed bumps can only be located on local roadways in a subdivision that connect with major arterial or collector roads of the city. The roadway must be at least 2 lanes with at least a width of 30 feet and grades less than 6%. The posted speed limit is 30 miles an hour or less. The speed bump there doesn't meet any of these requirements. So I'm going to ask the board to vote to have the speed bump removed.
Do we need, Mr. Abernathy, do you have any comments or anything on that?
David?
Well, I'd be glad. I told the board last month, what I understood about this, and I just heard for the first time that there's some state regulations, and I'll be glad to talk to David and find out exactly what those regulations apply to, and get back to the board. He just mentioned something I'm not aware of,
Okay.
but I certainly will make myself aware of it and advise the board.
Sure. Is there any reason the board would not vote to have this removed? I mean, I'd like to just have it pushed to a vote.
I think we'll have to have all the information before we could put it to a vote, but.
The information is, it was put out there illegally to start with, and it continues.
How did you and where did you obtain that information that it was false information?
I'm sorry, what?
About somebody getting hit, where'd you get that from?
I've talked to everybody out there. One man that lived out there for 40 years, right there right below the intersection, said it never happened.
So why do you think it was put there? To get people to stop at the sign?
Well, there's a stop sign there. I mean, one lady said, her name's Elizabeth McCain. I think the mayor's been in touch with her. She said, well, I'm the one that had it put there to start with because I just got tired of people running through there. And the comments have been made, well, we put it there because people run the stop sign. You go to any stop sign in the city and people run it. So if you're going to base it on that alone, you need to start putting speed bumps at every stop sign because people run all of them all the time. You know,
I just wanted to say that, yeah, I understand all that, but I just wanted, we got to make sure we make the right decision for that, because if somebody did get hurt on there had to be a history of a reason why it was put there. I'm unaware of all the history, so I'm sure there is a history.
There was a political reason from the previous mayor. It was not put there by the standards of the state of Tennessee. It's just a bump like that with state regulations, they say you're supposed to have a 6% grade. They don't have a 6% grade. Drive across it, you know? You know,
Okay.
you guys have been, I've submitted all kinds of information to you guys. We've been through this for 4 months now. You wanted to talk about it, you wanted to go look at it. You should have had enough time to say, we want to make a decision on this, and I really want to have you guys make that decision tonight. Vote on it. Say, yes, we're going to do it, or no, we're not. You know, have you guys not had time to evaluate the situation? Have you not talked about it multiple times?
Well, I have been out there and I have checked with a lot of the residents around, so I just wanted to make sure about the safety part. So I have been out there and talked with some people and tried to get some history on it. So
Is there any reason not to vote on it?
the gentleman may want more history on it, or what are y'all thinking?
Mayor, my
Well,
legal
like-
assistant, Mr. Roberts, advised me that
Okay.
what he understood Mr. David had pulled up and read from was the city ordinance in Brentwood. So I do
Okay.
want a chance to check that. and
Well,
make
of
sure.
course. Okay. All right.
I don't know if that's it, but
No, mine
I'm
came
gonna
straight
find out.
Mine came straight off the Tennessee.
Well, we will
Website.
we'll definitely check on it again. I'm sorry, you may have to wait a little longer, but
Is there a
we've gotta make
reason
sure-
not to vote on it to have it taken up?
like I said, we've got to make sure we have all of the reasons of why we're taking it back up, because there had to be a reason to put it down.
It
Whether
was
it was that
political.
reason or the safety reason, we'll just have to make sure that we have all the reasons before we take it up. So we'll just let our city attorney take it again.
So
and
we're
look
just
through it
going
again.
round in circle after circle after circle.
We're just going to make sure before we make those decisions.
The very first night I was here, Mr. Same was ready to vote, as well as 2 or 3 others. And it's been put off and put off and put off. There should be enough information that you guys have had that you can make a decision and vote on it.
Well, I think it'll be fair to just let us have a little bit more time.
It's been
and we'll-
fair.
we'll-
We have
next time
waited.
we'll
It's
have-
been 4
We'll have it
months.
ready
It's
next
been
time.
4 months since I came
Everybody
in here,
can
and I've
hear
been
that.
told every time we come back, we'll be making a decision.
Well, I did ride out there and I seen it,
Right.
and I was told the child got run over.
Child did not get
Kim,
run over.
do you know any information with the police report or
I cannot tell
EMS?
you that to be factual.
Couldn't tell.
I've heard the same thing you have, but is that a fact?
It's just a rumor. Somebody started.
So you think they made a room up just to get some attention?
Yes.
I can tell you this, as far as getting a copy of the medical report, that would be under Ternova. What was said, it was 2009, a child did get hit on a bicycle, because I responded to the call out there. Now, the child wasn't hurt that bad, but he was hurt, and the ambulance service came out there, and that report, I can make some calls and see if I can get that report, but the best I can remember, David Robertson was the mayor, Dee Dee was the street superintendent, and I did go out there.
So it did happen.
It did happen.
He didn't get killed. The rumor is he was killed out there.
I never did hear he got killed. I heard he
Well,
got.
that's what everybody's been saying. Well, the boy was killed out there.
I never did
He
hear
didn't.
that.
The boy didn't get killed out
But
there.
he almost got hit, or did get hit, so we didn't say he got killed.
But you know, you guys want to evaluate it. You've got stop signs all over the city that people run all the time.
We understand, but we definitely want to make sure everything's safe. That's what we have to look at. We understand that it's inconvenience for everybody going across.
So
it.
you're
We
going to
just
start
wanna make
putting
sure.
speed bumps at all the intersections
No,
because
that's not what I'm
that's the
saying.
safe thing to do.
No, we're saying that we're going to make sure before we take something up, the reason why it was down, that it was a safety reason. We want to make sure we're making the right decision. So we'll be able to make something next time.
So
Thank you.
you're saying the same thing you said
Every time.
previously, and it won't change.
Thank you.
Okay, it will change.
Thank you, Mr. Woods. All right, we'll go into our new business. And that would be to adopt the first reading of the ordinance to rezone the Knights property from R3 to M1. And they're not here tonight, I don't think, but I guess that's fine. So y'all are aware of that? You had it in your packet? Okay. Do I hear a motion to?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Same makes the motion, and second is Finlayson.
And this already been through the planning commission and they approved it and all that? correct?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. This is your first reading, and then we will have to have a second one in May. Ms.
John
Ann?
Middleton,
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins,
Yes.
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Willie Sine,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next up is, we need a motion to get permission to retain an engineer for the town of Selmer to help with Henco Drive. Did y'all get that today in your emails?
Yes.
Did everybody get it? Okay. And that's, if you go over there on Henco Drive and you see the sinkholes, and this is something, I guess it's been going on. The engineer that we seek is Heathcote and Davis. He's already an engineer for Summer Utility Department, so I was thinking we might be able to retain him that way, since it's an emergency situation, that we will be able to use him because he has a world of knowledge of already of a city.
I make a motion. We go
Second.
and do that.
Okay? Motion made by Sane and second by Hawkins. Ms. Ann?
John Middleton,
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins,
Yes.
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Willie Sine,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. And then going forward, I'll make sure that I copy all of y'all in the emails. That way you'll see what's going on, and that way we can hopefully get this fixed, or at least know what we need to do to get this fixed. Okay, next up is I need a motion to adopt the codes per state fire marshal that is pertaining to construction. Y'all all got a copy in your packet.
So moved.
Okay. Motion.
Second.
Motion by Norris and second by Hawkins. Ms. Ann?
John Middleton,
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins,
Yes.
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Willie Sine,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next up is, this is, I don't know if y'all need Angie or Ted to step up to the podium to explain about the Everbridge contract. Or did y'all want to vote on that? Or is that something that we need to vote on tonight?
I can't
We
hear
can.
you.
Huh?
We can just get them to talk about it.
Ted, could you tell us a little bit about the Everbridge contract, that, well, how it will benefit our city?
Yes. So as I told you guys before, we are using a free service called Nixle, and it allows us to send public alerts through text message, email, et cetera, et cetera. Everbridge company acquired Nixle. I know that at some point in time they are going to sunset that application, and they actually offer enhanced services, which would also help us even better to provide community outreach to people to advise them of some kind of emergency or alert in their area. Not only would it benefit the police department, fire department, but the water department as well could use this at any time they have a street shut down or anytime they have something going on, as well as the street department, then it would alert people within an area. The paid service is that we got a bid for, or got a quote for, was $31.96 annually, and that would give us the ability to use that system. As far as law enforcement is concerned, we also can connect that to what's called iPause. And I know everyone in here has got a text message in the middle of the night maybe, or in the afternoon, that says there's an Amber Alert or a missing person. That also opens that up for us, that we can send out those types of alerts as well. And we have had recently missing juveniles. So, and it actually got to the point where I think it was reported as endangered. So that type of thing is beneficial, I think, to not only the police department but the citywide. There was an extensive thing they sent me about tornadoes. I have not had a chance to really look into that a lot because they just sent it to me, I think, yesterday or the day before. However, the only caveat about tornadoes is that it is a person here in the city, whether it's me or Angie or anyone else, that generates that warning. So the caveat is the person that's generating the message is also seeking shelter right along with everyone else. So it may be a little delay getting that out there, but it would get out there. And when you actually use the enhanced services, you know, it sends text messages to a specific area, and I can narrow it down to a street, a block, or I can send it out citywide. It really doesn't matter. But that's what we're looking at. Do you have any questions?
How many years is that price good for? I mean,
That-
it says a year, but
You know, that I don't know, and I would honestly have to ask them, you know, through email. That's how we typically correspond and get that answer for you, because I'm not sure, you know, how long that would last for.
okay.
Okay, any more questions? Anyone?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is this something you gentlemen want to vote on tonight?
I move to move forward with the Everbridge contract.
Motion by Hawkins, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Norris. Miss Ann?
John Phillips.
Yes.
J.G. Hawkins.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sine.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I like the part about the tornadoes, so that will be good to get that going on that. Next up is I need a motion to vote Willis Lawn Service to mow our Selmer City Park and Patriot Park for $25,200. Is that something we're gonna do? Anybody?
I see this question, can we afford this?
I just put that down there.
Can we afford this, y'all?
I'm just asking, since, you know, we had that report last night, just wanna make sure we're making the right decisions, but it is needed, and especially in our park, but I want y'all to tell me what you wanna do.
I think
What do you
it's
think?
more than,
It's more than
yeah, spraying and all that if you read it.
that. Yeah.
Well, I've got the, bids right here for the city park and gazebo, and it's right here, $25,200. So it's more than that?
No, not the price.
Oh, not the
We're just
price?
talking about services you get.
Oh, yes,
What all
definitely.
they do.
Well, all he will be doing is mowing every day that needs mowing, every 10 to 14 days or as needed, weed eating around everything at each mowing area, edging around sidewalks, blowing debris, spraying all grass in unwanted areas, flower beds, cracks, and concrete gravel drives, keeping all ditches and fences weed eated and sprayed where they are rocked, cleaning leaves up 5 times in the fall and winter.
Well, I vote if we can afford it, Angie. Silver.
Well, right now, I mean, it's what you would pay an employee. And we cannot hire anyone because we have tried and tried and tried, and they will work about a week and then they don't wanna do it all. So, I mean, the 25-2, if we can get somebody to do those 2 things, and then, you know, with what I've got, we can possibly pull this off. But with just Josh right now and myself to mow, there's no way we can do it. And we cannot, I mean, I have put ads out, we just cannot get people to work. They don't wanna be out there doing this for that amount of money. I'll just be honest with you.
So your mowers would be mowing community center?
We'd do the community center, we'd do the, splash pad, dog park, and, no, we do not.
Florence
The-
Avenue.
in Florence.
Willis does out front. Willis does, I don't know where he's at. I know the weeds are growing up. I got that from Austin, but
So y'all could handle that and wouldn't need no additional people?
I mean, no, we still need one more person. I mean, because, well, we still have to mow outside the ball fields down there, but I mean, you can't mow down there right now. It's so wet that, I mean, if you got a mower over in there, even though it hasn't rained in several days, you'd be stuck, and you can ask Ray that.
Absolutely.
He will vouch for me on that, because, I mean, we buried a tractor out there last summer trying to mow. So, I mean, you know, but we would still have the ball fields to mow down here, outside of the ball fields, the community center, and the splash pad.
and Florence Avenue.
And Florence Avenue. There's not much grass there, but
So
You have to
can handle that
maintain
with
it.
what you got and one more person. Can we justify that in the budget?
well, in my payroll, out of. Yeah, I mean.
Well, you have,
Because we had budgeted for 3 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it's
You
not.
also got equipment. repair and maintenance on
And we've
that
got a lot of
and all that, so
repair and
it's
maintenance
probably-
that needs going. We got 3 trucks. One of them's only working, right?
Yes.
One of them's only working, so there's no maintenance on those
that's
trucks, and
probably-
also on the mowers, we've got some issues with those. So we don't really have good equipment, but I mean,
Can I ask a question?
well, not really, but
Why maintain and mow, keep it pristine, the Patriot Park, when you're not gonna use it, period? It's not gonna get used this year, Paul.
Who said we weren't gonna use it?
You're not gonna use, somebody said in 2019 they're gonna be ready to play ball. This is 2023, 4 years later. You can't play ball in there, and you're not gonna play this year. Just why spend $15,000 to cut the grass and keep it manicured?
well, I did ask only for the Selmer City Park, but was thrown in the Patriot Park. We will have to maintain that up there. We didn't very much the past 2 years. I mean, it was,
We'll have to
they
mow
were
it.
high, but we had street and sanitation went up there and mowed it. Would you mow it? How many times did you mow it? Ray?
Yeah, twice.
Twice. And that got it for pretty good for, because we didn't really, we weren't up there.
Hell, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. If you can handle it with what you gonna do, with what you already got with the one person.
And I'm still gonna have to hire, especially during the grass season,
Right.
we'll have to hire summer help. We always hire summer help.
Just your seasonal.
Seasonal.
Motion by Norris and second by Willie Sane. Any questions? Ms. Sam?
Colin Pendleton,
Yes.
J.D. Hawkins,
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sine.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up is, need a motion, for the Veterans Day Parade that's coming up. They will already put it on the books, I believe, November the 11th, Saturday in 2023. I think the only thing we've got left to turn in would be no, I think y'all have insurance already. It carried over, didn't it, for this year? Only thing we'll need is just to look over the, specs and everything with, Chief Carr and everybody, correct? Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Norris and second by J.T. Hawkins. Ms. Ann?
John Pendleton,
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sine.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next up is make a motion to adopt the standard audit contract, and Miss Angie talked about that last night. And you have that in front of you if you have any questions on that. Y'all have any questions? Or do you?
Motion to approve.
Second.
That's the audit contract we've gotta redo because the state's requiring every town to get on board with the system they want. So it's every town that gets audited in the state's gonna have to get on board with using the system the state wants. That's basically what it's for.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, Angie, I didn't know if you wanted her to speak or not.
Well,
And what it is the state's mandating that all municipalities adopt a standardized chart of accounts. And so this new contract just states that the comptroller's office is mandating that auditors make sure that transition takes place. And so the wording in the contracts had to change, and that's why all the cities are having to adopt a new contract to include that wording. But it's just something that the comptroller's office is mandating.
Okay. Motion made by Finlayson and second by Norris. Okay, Ms. Sam?
Don Pendleton,
yes.
J.T. Hawkins.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sine.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I guess we'll have to make a motion for the Rockabilly event that will be coming up. Miss Jessica came last night to speak with us about it, and she'll get everything else that she needs to us before the event, which is in June. Is that right, Miss Jessica? June 10th.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Sane and second by Norris. Miss Ann?
Johnny Pendleton.
Yes.
J.T. Hawkins.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Willie Sine.
Yes.
Motion carries.
have any other questions or comments from the audience or anybody? Y'all are awful quiet tonight. That's a good thing.
I'd like to say something.
Okay.
I'm not gonna call the lady's name out, but she is from here, but she said some of the people wonder why she came back to Selmer.
Huh.
The city looking the way it do. So we got some work to do.
Okay.
We got some work to do. When other people look at us, and it was a comedian on the other night. Excuse me, you know what one of the comments was? One of the cities that he wouldn't move to? Selmer, Tennessee.
Oh, well.
And my ex-son-in-law, that I don't care nothing about, but anyway, said to me, and called my daughter and told her, said, it made the comedian thing is Tennessee places not to move to. Selmer, Tennessee. So he couldn't wait to tell her that.
Where was that at? Because I saw Nashville and Memphis.
It was somewhere up in Nashville. He was a comedian up there.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it was Selmer.
But it
I
was.
looked at that.
But I thought it was a bad reflection that
Well, I
this
think,
guy making it up about us.
well, I'm sorry about that. Well, we are working hard on hopefully cleaning up and fixing up our town, and hopefully seeing some new improvements and making sure that we look good. And that's why I wanted to always tell the vision of our parks and our areas where our kids play. That's very important for them, and that's something I hope that we could all strive together to get that done. So.
Can I say something else?
Oh, well, yes, of course, Willie say.
I would hope in the future that us aldermen, whether we like each other or whatever, can support our mayor. She is our mayor, elected by and for the people, just like us, and try to start doing a better job of supporting her, helping her.
You don't like me, Willie?
I love you, man. I love everybody.
Well, I'm not perfect, but I do appreciate y'all because I have to come to y'all and ask y'all questions because there's a lot to learn. You can't come into an elected office and know everything. Just no way. It'll take you years to figure it all out. I can promise you that. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yep. Go ahead, Miss Katie.
I don't think anybody heard the speech Angie made last night. They were ignoring her about the spending.
About the spending? We can't spend anymore?
Oh, yeah, we'll have to make more
No more spending.
and all that, so I just wanted to remember that.
Yep. We got to be thrifty on our spending.
And I ain't talking to you.
No, I keep up with my spending. Everybody can come into the office and ask me how much I spend, and it's very few. I don't spend a lot of money. What you've seen for the fix up and clean up, I will have to prove it. I've got it on paper, and a lot of things we've done, just our manpower. I have to commend Ray and his team, and Chief Carr and everybody that gets out there. I mean, it takes a village, and that is what we've done. We've used a lot of manpower, very little spending. I think my biggest expenditure was my sidewalk, and of course I did not do the right steps on that, but I had to learn, and I do know better now. So, but anyway, that was a sidewalk I felt like needed to be done. It looks good in our Rockabilly Park, so there's a lot of things that you just learn as you go. But I appreciate that.
Listen to what the woman said.
Yeah, we were going to listen to what the woman said. We are.
Yes, there is a fund balance, yes, but you can only cut into it so much, and that needs to stay, and that's the thing, we're not in a crisis mode,
Yes,
and I apologize for making it sound that way, but it needed to be out there, it needed to be said that we can't keep spending just every time, it's just, we've just gotta be a little more conscientious.
And that goes with our budgets, and that goes with how we hire people, where we put them. We use them in the right places. We use them productively. Just making sure that we're just putting people in the right places to make. Yes, I understand that. I know you are. Yes. It's,
Well, it's not been raised since 2004, and I bet you won't find many states or cities that's not been raised.
Oh, they don't have anything.
That's fine with me. Let's clean it up. It's fine with me. I'll be the first to vote.
Well, I don't care either.
Well, taxes is a bad word, but I mean, if you do it in a certain way. But what is it, Homer?
Can we try to generate some revenue coming in, and we focus on revenue? If we get revenue coming in, then that's gonna help the budget, that's gonna help the surplus, and it's gonna help us to, where we don't have to spend that kind of money. I mean, if you got more going out than you got coming in, then
Oh yeah, eventually it's like a business, right? You know how that goes.
we need to try to generate revenue in our city to where we can maintain without having to raise taxes or, put a stress on people.
That's right. We don't want to do that. Thank you, Homer. Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor Hammond and City Alderman. I'm Jessica Huff, Executive Director of Banner County Chamber of Tourism. And tonight I've got 3 of my youth leadership group here. We are going around to the city meetings and attending those. They just got done with their state capital trip and met Representative Rod Gann and Senator Paige Wally. They attended a committee meeting with the topic of the state government. But we were there the Wednesday before everything started happening in Nashville, so we were safe, and B.L. Rose took care of us.
Oh yeah, B.L. Rose.
If you don't mind, I'm going to just have them stand and introduce themselves.
Of course, yes, our future leaders.
Don't be bashful.
Don't be bashful.
I'm Paisley, and I go to Adamsville High School.
Okay.
Indy, McMurray.
Kessler, Adamsville.
It's good meeting you 3. Thank you for sharing them with us.
Thank you so much. It's been a great learning experience.
And I bet y'all had fun, didn't you? Learned a lot up there. You want to be in politics? I know. I'll talk to you afterwards. No, I'm playing. All righty. If nobody else, a motion to
Hey, I
adjourn.
have one more thing, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have an answer for your question. The rep actually gave me an answer.
Oh, yeah,
Right away
tornado.
in email.
Okay.
You can do a 36 months contract, locks that price in. So there's that.
Okay. Oh, yes, Ms. Tom.
If you get bored, you might go online. You all know about Mason, Tennessee. They've been under investigation, I don't know how long. But you will learn some things if you read about Mason. And I believe because of the Ford plant, the new Ford plant that's going
Oh,
in,
yeah, in Hayward.
I think they're making sure that we as little towns are going to follow the rules and regulations.
Yes, yes.
I think you would all benefit from reading that. I did.
Oh, yeah, it was a good read. I read that. That's good. Thank you for that. Okay. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Already did.
You didn't say it loud enough. Oh, my gosh, my mouth is so dry. Yes, I would love to. They need to be in pictures.
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny, get down here.